Welcome to the Elevation Guide. Now, this guide is going to be more so covering about what is possible. Because unlike the other two maps that I covered, this map is the most popular map in the game other than Suburbia, and for good reason. This map has the most gimmicks out of any map, and it is the most individualistic map in the game. What I mean by that is this is the map where one player can completely just dominate an entire game, just completely win the game on their own for the entire enemy team very, very easily. This is a very gunfight heavy skill check map where a lot of it comes down to, can you beat the enemy team in a 1v1? Can your team realistically beat the other enemy team in just pure gunfights? If the answer is no, then you're most likely going to lose. Because unlike the other maps, there isn't really a set strategy. Although there is theory, there's not really a set strategy. Majority of this map is based off play styles, and so there's two like primary main play styles that people do. There's the lurk play style that's seen more commonly by like build nice guys nowadays, and then there's the outpacing play style. And we'll go on that later. For now, I'm just going to talk about basic theory. So for Phantoms, what you're going to want to do is you're going to usually want to just be able to control this double space and this terrace space. It's up to you or what your team is in order to. It's basically just up to your team whether you want to hold doubles or terrace. It doesn't particularly matter. It's usually preference. Nowadays, I feel it's more common for Phantoms to want to push terrace because a guy sitting here as a ghost on top of box holding the window push out is incredibly annoying, because if there are ghosts capping on hill and there's a guy up here holding from terrace, you cannot reliably flood out of window to contest the hill. So a lot of teams I see nowadays opt for holding terrace over doubles. But the reason why doubles is extremely crucial is because ghosts can spawn bottom alley, and they have a very powerful nade where they just run up to right here, count to 4, toss it over, and then afterwards they can kill the hill. And from right here, they can pretty much just nade any single part of the map, including window, if they just go a little bit wider to about right here. This box is especially powerful, and so Phantoms are generally going to want to hold doubles in terrace. The end goal, I would say, for Phantoms is just to be able to hold both terrace and doubles and hold a crossfire onto this mid-ramp bottom short area. In which case, Ghosts are probably going to opt for pushing around Red Warehouse up into here. And that's pretty much about it. For Ghost, usually what you're going to want to do is kind of the opposite of what I said. So you're going to want to hold doubles so you can spawn top alleys, and then from here you're going to want to push down long and usually hold window. That is 90% of the time your win condition. And the reason why is because Phantoms can spawn right here in window, and then they have a very easy nade that goes 1, 2, 3, or they just bounce it off these pallets, and then they can just completely deny hill cap. So most teams on Ghost, what they want to do is they want to push long, take space of this entire long control from terrace and doubles, and then just hold window and let the rest of their team cap. And then afterwards, usually a lot of people like to fight blue ramp, or some players usually just fall back to big box. Usually you have a terrace player here if the team's very high level, or you just have like a really good team. And then afterwards, you can just contest for this blue ramp space that you kind of just hold a crossfire from doubles and sidewall or terrace, and then that usually works. Some alternatives to this are some players, because like I said, this is a very individualistic heavy game, is they push into terrace doors and they play around this Bepis area and just completely, just absolutely obliterate the entire team, just pick them off a lot. Build does this play a lot that works really well, where he runs through terrace doors after killing the people here terrace, and then he flanks blue ramp and uses this head glitch right here to kill the people blue ramp, and then he just rotates back, and then he's just being a menace, killing people blue ramp. Occasionally comes back through terrace to stop hill and just control this space as a ghost is especially. Other than that, there's a couple of other things to note. Some teams, like a common mistake a lot of ghost teams make, is they kind of just funnel through mid ramp when they don't have map control. This is especially bad. When pushing like for map control as a ghost, you're going to want to come usually bottom short or push doubles or terrace. And the reason why is because for mid ramp, you're just at a very disadvantaged angle from here. Not only is this a common grenade spot, but you're also being shot from doubles and terrace, and it's just very uncomfortable. You're either going to want to come from bottom short, which very easily you can isolate this doubles angle, boost pad up here, there's a launch tech you can do, and then just fight terrace. Other than that, I think that's all the essential theory. So now I'm just going to spend like probably 30 minutes talking about like place because there's a lot you can do. We're going to start with Phantoms. So, very simple. Most important thing you want to do in this map to know is know how to nade hail, because nades are like the most important thing on this map other than just your gunfight capabilities. So, you see that pallet right there? Toss a nade right there. It doesn't need to be cooked. A lot of people cook it, but literally just like, as you can see, uncook the nade. It'll get directly to hill. It gets the left side. If they're low, it should kill them all, but if they're like standing close here or right left side, then yeah, they won't die, but you can just shoot them. Still a very good nade. Some other things. So you have options. There's only two things you realistically should do. You're gonna push either terrace or you're gonna push doubles. Do not flood out window if you do not have terrace. If you flood out window and do not have terrace, you will die. If you do flood out window, and there's only really two reasons you should flood out window, it's if your team calls for it, like realistically your team's fighting right there or there, or it's like the start of the game you're trying to get early map presence. But usually coming out a window is generally bad. Like, you either need doubles or terrace. Because if you have neither, then it's just like, you're just gonna die. Realistically, make your option quickly. You're either gonna go fight for terrace or you're gonna fight for doubles. And it's usually personal preference. It's no, like, distinct option. I'm gonna start with terrace first. So, there's two ways to push, actually there's three ways to push terrace. So, a lot of people like to route here top bridge. And the reason being is because if you come here, you can get swung out. Like, if you just walk in a straight line like here, if a person's down here, they can easily just come out and shoot you. But if you're up here, you're at a more advantageous position to just hold for the swing out. And it's much harder to pre-aim this. The downside being that they can hold this head glitch here from bridge, but that isn't nearly as common because this angle is very bad, just in general. You can only see, like, unless you're really close, in which case you're exposed to beware, you can only really see window. But even then, it's very easy to run past this. And usually players who want to do that, they usually come here because this head glitch is much stronger, or they go right there to that head glitch. So, you come up here to bridge, and then either you go route top left right here, and this is because it's very easy to isolate. You just like this. And you can just kill those dudes, and you can go from there. Or, if you're confident, you come here, pre-aim this, swing like that, and then afterwards you can kill the other side while you isolate those fights. Maybe there's a guy under window. This is more about in one game state, but you have a lot of freedom on how you choose to approach this angle, because there's a lot of fights you can take from this door, and there is, like, relatively decent cover. Alternatively, if there's a guy top terrace, just to jump, is gonna suck. You can just come up here, shoot that guy. And that's about it for that side. Now, the only other alternative that I see people do is they route here to back heli, and this is actually strong because you have this nice head glitch right here, and if you are angle, you can just do this. It's especially annoying. This is a head glitch right here, kind of gimmicky, but works really well. Another very strong head glitch right here. This is also a head glitch. I don't know why they didn't change this. In SCO build, they actually removed this top one, so this is a head glitch for Phantoms to contest gravel for hardpoint. They didn't do it for this build, which is partially why I feel like this is more ghost side than it is, because, I mean, like, there's not really much option. But that's besides the point we're talking about top here. Other things you can do, this spot's good, you can stare into their spawn. Don't stay here for too long though, because there's a much better head glitch that ghosts can do if they're intelligent. That's right here, and then they can kill you. Also, there's a very easy pre-nade that people do literally all the time whenever they push terrace. Toss it right there, uncooked, and then you're just dead. It clears out pretty much all of front terrace, and you need to be standing like right here. And that's all I can think of for terrace, other than like there's this head glitch that you sometimes have to look for that ghosts sometimes hold, but it's very bad. It's very, very, very gimmicky. This is like an anti strat. Like if you know the enemy likes to push terrace a lot, then you have to hold here. And then the last one, and this is more of a dumb hardpoint thing, is there's this pixel here that you can hold, and this is literally impossible to kill. And then I think you can also kill. Well, yeah. And then for holding terrace, I like to recommend you just stand here because it's free fire the people who come up bridge. There is a launch tech that Ghost can do though, and I'm not particularly good at hitting the launch tech, where they can just super jump like this, and afterwards they literally just kill you. But this is just preference at that point. A lot of people also like, this is another really good spot to hold down terrace. because you could kill the people coming out of doubles. This angle's a lot better than you think, and not a lot of people expect it. Or you can stand right here. This pullout's also good. You can swing out. It's pretty protected from the nade. The nade usually lands like right here. Some people, they also like to stand here. This exposes you to the nade, but you can honestly swing out in timing of the nade. Some people don't nade. And then like another angle to contest doubles, jump up here. Just a lot of nice angles. Sidewall, not very good for Phantoms. Really strong for this one. But that's about it for Terrace. I would say the only other thing is that getting aggressive on this map is especially good. So like if you're feeling confident coming down here, pushing bomb 4, and then just coming down here to mid ramp. Jimmy boxes. Jimmy boxes is also pretty good, especially if they're coming doubles. Like all these angles. Now for pushing long, what I recommend is, and a lot of players do this, bounce a nade off this wall. This will land it like right there to kill this glitch, or just people peeking top bellies in general. Just like a nade like that in general. And this is like if you're just pushing long in general. But usually what you're going to do is you just want to come to this wall and you're just going to want to swing. And then afterwards it's just all about the movement, like having good movement, isolating your fight spell peeking well. And for holding doubles, there's a couple things you can do. What I prefer is just to stand here. It gives you the most cover. You can pre-fire top bellies. The only thing that you just lose to pretty much always is this angle right here. You just like have no options to pop this angle. But usually you're gonna have a teammate with you, so you should be fine. Other than that, you have this angle. This is really strong for contesting mid-ramp. Lots of space, lots of cover. That's really good for just holding top bellies in general. This is top bellies, also that's the difference. And then, yeah, so this is really strong. Very powerful position. It's very prone to getting naded from mid-ramp though, so be careful. Another angle. People use this to contest short if they know there's a guy there. It's not very gimmicky. It's actually pretty common nowadays, but that's just to kill short. Alternatively, you can just be normal and walk up here. Some gimmicks that work. You can hide in this alley. You can do this for the other alley. If you hug this wall, Nick got mad at me once for doing that, so that's pretty cool. Like he said, like, where were you? I'm starting this pattern of my plays. People ask me where I'm at. But like you can hide in this. It's very, very strong. You can do it on both sides. Hiding inside these things. Another common way to hold doubles. Doing this like that. This is a head glitch. Depending on their gun, they can wall bang this though. You can see that my bullets are going through. Another very common 12 Demir, and I think Kairos really like popularized this, and Jimmy as well. You just stand here, sound horror, and pre-fire as they come up. Very, very strong. You want to play like Kimrick's gimmicky strat, or another very gimmicky strat, you can just chill here on Tetris and just like hold this head glitch. Yeah, I mean, it's not that good because they can honestly very easily run past you, but it's another thing you can do. What else? I guess around mid. There are going to be times when it is good to flood out window. Because, I mean, like, you kind of just want to get involved in the fight if your team's just actively fighting. So, now there's two things you can do. You can either come up... Oh, wait! You can come on top of E-Box, or you can just drop on. Usually, if they're on hill, you're kind of slide and peek it like that. Or you can go on top of window. And then from there, you just choose whether you want to go terrace or you want to go doubles. Another thing you can do, though, is you can kind of just come here, and then afterwards come close to this wall. This angle's really good for holding on the ramp, and you kind of just fight these guys as they come up. Or just push down to the ramp, do something really aggressive. This angle right here is good for holding doubles if you know they aren't coming mid-ramp. There's a lot to cover on alleys. I'm kind of just trying to get, like, the meat of it. On like elevation, this is like very complex map, not gonna lie. At least when it comes to like approaching gunfights and like how to like actually win. That's why pulls is so like the top players are able to consistently get 80s on this map because just like how much like cheese there is. It's one of those maps where I'd say like honestly, I can tell you all this stuff, but you're gonna learn a lot more from just playing this map than actually like hearing me yap about it. but I'm still gonna tell you like the best ways, in my opinion, to do things. Um, Wood ramp. This is the alternative to pushing top Ellie's, and it's very simple. You just come here. This head glitch very strong. You can also come bottom Ellie's and flank. This is also really strong to stop ghost. You need to be aware of that. And then I think that's everything. The last thing I need to cover is blue ramp. If you spawn blue ramp, there's only a couple things you need to worry about. If they spawn terrace, be careful of the flank. This is not very common, but it has happened enough to where I will warn you about it. This is a flank. They can spawn bottom alleys. A lot of people nowadays, they pre-fire a nade right there, or they just throw a nade. This head glitch right here holds the spawn. Very gimmicky. Paradigm does it. Doesn't really usually work because, I mean, it's just not very impactful. Another head glitch right here. Hold bottom alleys. You can cross. Bear in mind, you can also cross down here if you just, like, are unable to push out blue ramp. Now, coming out of blue ramp is especially difficult if you don't know how to use nades. Because this sidewall angle and that angle, there's so many angles coming out of blue ramp. Because usually you're going to want to come out peeking to the side like this to hold or contest doubles. You're not really going to want to contest the stair space because it's just a bad angle. Usually you're going to be swinging out like this. And then you're going to fight the mid-ramp dudes. And then once you get to this sidewall, which is a much nicer area to contest terrace from, then you're going to. But if you're coming out blue ramp, just be wary. You're not usually going to win this fight if you're alone. Like, you will kind of just die. That angle is very strong for Ghost to hold pretty much this entire area. Which is why a lot of teams opt for terrace nowadays over doubles. Because terrace simply just gives you an easier time to play the game than doubles does. Like, although Ghost spawn there, like, you have a much easier time killing the ghost players than you do holding doubles from terrace. And that is about everything that I can cover for the Phantom side as it relates to playing it. I can't really think of anything else, like, that's too important. Other than that, I would recommend, like, you watch Corn play, ask for one of his VODs. He has the best nades in the game, hands down, literally the best nades. Because nades are literally, like, the second most important thing on this map. Now I'm just gonna talk about ghosts. So, usually most of the time you're gonna spawn red warehouse, like, in this area. And the cool thing about ghosts is, unless you spawn bottom alleys, you have freedom to go wherever you want on the map. So, like, you aren't just constricted to just going to one spot on the map based off where you spawn, like on warehouse or metro. So, like, you can always just go terrace, you can go red ware, but you don't have to go terrace from, like, say top short. You can go bottom short, you can go mid ramp. If you're from mid ramp, you could just easily route to bottom alleys and take those fights. You can come here, wrap top ware, and then go Tetris to fight doubles. I mean, you can do a lot. You can go around to gravel and then afterwards fight Bepis. It's very, very. You can get very creative with how you choose to, like, play this map from Ghost side. But I'm gonna talk about how to, like, just approach it. So mid ramp. Mid ramp's good if they don't have terrace. If they have terrace, well, if they don't have terrace and doubles. If you have doubles but not terrace, come mid ramp and then just isolate this fight. It's very good. But a lot of people don't come mid ramp nowadays unless they have full map control, because it's just a very bad control, just in general. Because, like I said earlier, you're just very exposed. So a lot of people, when they come mid ramp, it's usually because they already have map control or they just feel confident. Most of the time, they're going to choose between doubles or terrace and just push those instead. And if they go terrace, they're probably going from bottom shore or they're wrapping it. But the most common way that I've seen that's working nowadays to push doubles is they don't go through that door unless you have control of that. Wrap, red ware, and then afterwards you just take the fight from this angle. The reason why is because you avoid most of the cheese angles. Like, the guy that's unhoarding there, he just doesn't have a chance not only to not leave you, but like, you can just wrap him and then just kill him. The guy top Ellison as well, you have a much easier time killing him because you have more options. Wood ramp guy as well. All the fights just wrapping from Tetris side are so much easier to contest, and then also there's, like, some other nice angles. Like, if you have a high damage, mid damage gun like the G36 or L86, you can easily just hold this, or a C7. And then pushing along, usually they're going to want to push this with the team. It's very straightforward. You kind of just, like, fight. Doubles isn't usually something you fold as Ghost. You usually take doubles for the sake of pushing something. pushing things on Ghost is much better than holding, and pushing things in general is much better than holding. The only spot on this map that's generally better to hold is this entire lane right here by Terrace, but doubles is usually for the sake of pushing. Phantoms as well, they have a better time holding this. It's not more. Pushing it to red order usually isn't a good idea, but as Ghosts, if you have doubles, take initiative, push. It's much more impactful. Staying doubles right there, unless you're by yourself, then just sit on the long angle is usually pretty effective. But push long, you want to get into their window, deny the nades so your team gets that. Alright. Alternative. I'm gonna talk about the Terrace next. So, there's a lot of ways to push Terrace. Most common way, most effective way, come bomb short, fight these guys, usually toss a nade up here. And then how you choose to climb up this is preference. You can boost pad up there like that. I usually just climb the ladder because my movement is terrible. Or you can just like do a super jump. You can also come up here and jump up from right here. This also works. And then yeah, that's the many ways to push that. Another way, you can come from top court, which is usually my preferred method. Right there, like I said. And then afterwards you just swing this. Another way, I think Keanu in CBA popularized this method. You just come up here. Very expected. This also allows you to kill the guy if he's coming bridge. And then, like I said, holding Terrace from right here is usually very impactful, very good. You can stop the blue ramp flood, you can kill E-box, stop window, 5 doubles. And then another angle, this is kind of preference whether you prefer Terrace or Sidewall. Sidewall, really strong, does the same thing. Much safer from doubles though, so preference. Holding this, also really strong as Ghost. Jumping up here, getting aggressive, really strong. Nice sound horse spot right here, that's really good. You stand right here, and then you crouch so they can't see you, and then afterwards you just... Really nice head glitch right here. It's literally sees into their spawn, very annoying. There's a flank you can do right here as well. There's doors. And that's about it for the Terrace side of the map. Now I just gotta talk about mid ramp. Mid ramp, Jimmy boxes, good for testing doubles. And I think that's it other than bottom alleys. So if you spawn bottom alleys, there's 3 things you can do. You can either flank blue ramp, go into their spawn, or you can just go in there and fight. Now, that usually depends on game state, and it's up to you. But normally you're just going to be wanting to come out here, and then afterwards you're either going to go doubles, or you're going to just fight for window control with your Terrace players. And, yeah, that's about it. Can't really think of much. I might do another guide on this map, because this is one of the few maps where you play other game modes on, and depending on the game mode, this map is completely different. Like, Hardpoint is vastly different from Top. But for the most part, like I said, this is one of the maps where you aren't going to learn as much from the video. You have to play it and get like a feel for when to do all the things, because there's a lot to this map, and I mean a lot. And because like there's a funny head glitch you can do up here like this. I bet you didn't know about this. And you can also stand on top of these alleys, like right here. This is an angle. There's another stupid angle as well. You can hide into that thing right there. You can hide on top of... There's another thing you can hide on top of. This whole entire thing's wall banging. There is so much little random crap, like this gimmicky angle right here that people use to contest mid-ramp, that I can't feasibly go over all of it unless somebody wanted a one-on-one guide, and I just literally just went over every single thing with it. But for the most part, I would recommend just play some cues, get a feel for the map, and then afterwards just come up with a play style that best suits for you. If you prefer Terrace, you prefer mid-ramp, you prefer doubles. Like, what do you want? It's like another one. A lot of people hold this. There's just too much to cover. So, good luck on